cannot take out politics from our day-to-day engagement. The policies that government formulates and implements, they affect our lives on a daily basis. And so we also encourage young persons to be actively involved, either in holding leaders accountable in their different constituencies, or also getting involved to become one, very party members, or run for the elections themselves. And so we are happy that we have future leaders of the Nigerian states today seated here for this training.
Choosing Yola, Adamawa State, to host this zonal training is not born out of mistake, but because of the desirability and accommodative culture of this state. That is why Yola has been chosen to host this initiative training program.
I'm happy that this initiative is part and parcel of the solution. First, we need our hands across the nation. That means almost everybody, every Nigerian, every citizen of Nigeria should be concerned. Bring his hand, join his brothers, sisters from the northern part of the country, eastern part, southern part, western part, and everywhere. Together, we'll move the country forward. And to do that, definitely, we need change. We need change. Total reorientation. Because if we have all the elements of powers, why are we moving backward? Why? We need to change ourselves, the leaders and the led. The leaders and the led. How do we change? Maybe one day we'll sit down, we agree, we'll just raise our hand and say, oh God, forgive us. Today we promise we'll move our country forward. I believe that day we'll move this country forward.
Philosopher said knowledge that does not affect behavior is nonsense. So whatever knowledge that we are going to acquire in the course of this 24 hours training, I will want to beg our indulgence to inculcate it in such a way that is going to bring a shift in our behavior and is going to give us a complete paradigm turnaround in the way we view leadership and Nigeria.
The Lead Generation Initiative, and is deliberately created to bring youths across the country together with a view of producing next leaders of tomorrow. So it's a welcome development. You have seen substantial number of youth have participated today across the entire northeastern states. So it's a welcome development, and I believe it will go a long way in solving not only security situation in this case, but only to lift substantial number of our youth out of extreme poverty. We are asking young people who are opportune to be in government to also emulate what Honorable Shina Pella is doing. He is a Yoruba man far from southwest. He is here today in Nigeria to support youth. We also have legislators in Adamawa and other parts of the northeast. We want them also to emulate the same thing by supporting our youth so that at least our Nigeria can be great.
I have learned so many things. You know, meeting people and elderly people from different angles of the state, of the northeast, to come here and also educate us on how to go about meeting the expectation of Nigeria, and also how to move the next generation, where the future of the country as a youth, and then to tap from their experience. That is what exactly I learned so far from the event.
A question was posed to the youth to discuss how they are going to be handling this country if they have been given opportunity. There were so many answers that came out. I think the first answer was one person who said if he's a president of this country, what he will do to this country is to share sanitary pads free of charge. And I was there. I mean, it's not bad for him to look or think that way, because that's the thought from him. And that is the reason why we are here. to discuss, not to laugh at anybody, but to have a more robust discussion and idea on how to come about the solution. So by saying that, he's looking at Nigeria from the angle of health. But my own thought, as a young person who is opportune to be in power, I feel if any youth that found himself in this gathering should speak on health, you should think deeper. All we are requesting from the leaders today is to make us part of the decisions that they are taking on our behalf. I think we are not asking for too much. We are not asking for too much. If you say you are building our future, use us to build the future. So if I want to talk about health, I think my thought is I will just pick malaria. Malaria kills more than cancer. It kills more than a lot of diseases. If our vision is to say that during the times of our children we are going to end malaria, I think that is a vision worth pursuing. Another youth talks about investment in agri. If you are talking about investment in agri, think of export. This country is blessed with human and natural resources. If today all states in Nigeria will sit back and say that we are going to be exporting one product, just one, don't do two, just one. Agree and resolve that we are going to be producing rice, then this state should be recognized with rice. If a state agrees that they are going to be exporting beans, they should be recognized as a bean state. It's something we can be able to do. And I agree totally with the person who made the statement that agriculture is the way to go. When you look at the teeming youth, you look at the population we have today, I think agriculture is one sector that can absorb a lot of us depending on how we look at it, but not the traditional agricultural system. Modern ways of thinking export. How do we become an export country, not an import country?
And sincerely, going through this photo flash of the Made-in program that have taken place in Oyo State, Osun State, I am actually overwhelmed because he has taken a point and he has taken a charge. He decided that he's not going to let a mediocre person affect the life of youth like you and I. And I think if we work together assiduously and have a synchronization as youth, including the elders, I think we will overcome the issues that Nigeria is facing today.
My brothers and sisters present here, you will agree with me that what we have in common here today is our youthfulness. The people that are, youthful in mind, and also the people that we see as the youth today. That is one thing I can say that has brought us together here. Even with our royal father here, you can see that he is our father and he is still youthful at mind. And that is why you will see him present here. So if we can identify that as something that is bringing us together today, then we will ask ourselves, is this the right time for us to come together, to exchange our ideas, to engage ourselves, in ideas that can move the country forward? Why you will see that it is time is whether we like it or not, we must understand the existence of human in this world. God created land before God created men. And when God created men, God has made us to realize that as human beings, we will come generation after generation. But after God created men, men created governments. God did not create governments. God did not create governments. Men created governments. And if men created government so that we can be able to manage our welfare, make the right laws, that can guide our existence as human beings on the surface of this earth. And since God created man and God has made us to realize that in whatever that we are as a man, we will still come to an end one day. Whether you are the richest person, whether you are the most powerful person, whether you are the smartest person, or whatever you are, there is going to be an end of you. The only being that will not come to an end is the Almighty Allah. So, if God has made us to realize that we have a limited time to spend on the surface of this earth, then you will understand that we have to come generation after generation. And I will tell you as a person, whether government is involved or government is not involved, the first obligation of every generation is to be a bridge of hope for the coming generation.
Leadership, of course, is what entails everything, right from the home, the office, and wherever. So the organizers have tried very well, have gathered a lot of youth who are the leaders of tomorrow, and an energetic youth who have knowledge and energy on how to lead Nigeria and the economic as well. So I'm very happy with it.
The experience so far has been wonderful, and I can say that I'm privileged to be part of this initiative. I think I've learned so much from this. Like I said before now, I've actually been a very shy person. Talking in public is quite very difficult for me, but I think I was motivated the last time and I summoned courage, and in fact I was amazed. I was proud of myself when I saw myself talking, and so that has really been a plus to me because I gained confidence, I was motivated to really talk. I mean, speaking is actually one thing that's very, very important. If you really want to make a change, if you really want to impact in the community or the society at large.
Actually, I've learned a lot of things today. I'm really sensitized and not minding the shortcoming of anything. I think I'm going to take this message down to the grassroots, to the ward level of each ward in my own local government. I've learned how we youths will take up the future of Nigeria, and we youths have the future in our hands, if only we use it judiciously.
Yes, I learned so many things from my superiors, more especially Honorable Shina Pella, member representing Isenyi, Etesiwaju, Kajola, Iwajola Federal Constituency. Actually, the guy is doing good, and we all want him to be our mentor because the way he is showing love and respect to the youth, more especially the youth of Nigeria or the northern part of the country. What ginger me or what makes me to be happy is that the guy is not from the northern part of the country, but the way he is motivating us from the northern part of the country, I feel like he is more than our members from this part of the country. So that's why I like him. I also want him to be my mentor. One of the things I've learned so far from this is just because I'm a lady doesn't mean I can't rule. It doesn't mean I can't involve in politics. It doesn't mean I can't stand out in terms of building my community. So I feel it's a motivation to get involved and do things. Also make a difference. I mean, doing things that men find it very difficult to do.
When they say the first obligation of every generation is to be a bridge of hope of the coming generation, and the leaders ahead of us has failed us to this moment, my brothers and sisters, we must not fail the coming generation. It is our responsibility to rise up to the challenge and rewrite our own stories ourselves. And this starts from the confide of our own prayers. And this is what the lead generation is all about. When they tell you to get involved in political process, please, we are not being informed to get involved in political process so that everybody can run. everybody cannot do the same thing. But what makes you important is, as a person, you must be able to identify yourself. There's one thing I use to characterize people. It's either you are an act or you are a liability. And whether we like it or not, like I said, God doesn't make mistakes. God has created Nigeria as a land with a lot of resources. And God puts human capital resources as well in Nigeria, which you and I were a part of. A country of over 240 million people that has the market to consume any goods and services. And as you know, the power of any economy is calculated by the amount of export that economy. So we should be able to be our own problem solvers ourselves. And it starts from rewriting our story.
There are three key things we must ask ourselves as. The first one is, if I am for myself, who am I? Now, as a young person in this room, I know that we're probably leaders in our different fields of life. We know how to do this leadership thingy. We have lots of followers or lots of constituency members. We have people who look up to us, but there are technicalities to this leadership of a thing. And that's why we must always ask ourselves, if I am for myself, who am I? Sometimes leaders feel like they must do everything. If they are not there, their organizations can't function. If they are not there, the positions they occupy cannot function. And that is not supposed to be so. Leadership is a reflection of what you give to your constituency members. It's what you give to your people. Your people should be as competent as you are, so that the day that you cannot stand on your feet, you have capable hands that are able to take up the responsibility that you should have taken. Now, there are different problems that plague our society, that plague our communities, that plague our state, our nation, our world. But we keep on saying, now is not the time. I mean, we don't have finance, there's no education, there's no good road, we can't go to that community to do some advocacy. There are always 1,001 excuses. But if you don't do the organizing, the advocacy, if you don't take that responsibility right now to do what you need to do, when do you want to do it? Is it when they make education all in Nigeria? Are we waiting for that? That's it. So you can't keep waiting for anything you want to do. If you know that you need to do it, you must do it now. There's always an urgency. But sometimes, as leaders, we say, oh, maybe another person will take up the responsibility. Let's wait for that person. No, that's not it. You on your own, you can stand up and take up the responsibility to do that which needs to be done.
Nigeria of our own today, we are bedeviled with social problems, socio-economic challenges, ranging from insecurity, kidnapping, brutal assassination, rampant killing, and a lot of other social vices. For us to overcome all our social vices, we have to at least be creating, organizing programs like this. It is on this note that I want to commend the effort of Honorable Shino Pella, because he has been the voice of the voiceless, per se, because his ability or his analytical mind to organize such wonderful leadership summits is one of its kind. Believe you me, I'm saying this, I don't know where it will go, but I'm sending message and challenging all the members of House of Representatives, the senators, and everybody, all the stakeholders in Nigeria, to imitate from what Honorable Shino Pella is doing by organizing such wonderful educative programs, especially on leadership. We, the youths, we are the leaders of tomorrow, whether the elite believe it or not.
This has been an eye-opener. At least right now, I will be able to go back to my ward, to my local government. I'll be able to share. I mean, he has done a very good work, because the youths are what the future needs. Because without the youths, there is no future. Because these older generations, they are already going. So he has already sat down and has known that this has seen the capacity in the youth. That's why he's trying to invest in us.
I don't have a way that can express how much happy I am for being a part and parcel of this program. The organizer really tried to gather more than 900 youth and show them how to lead people. I'm very grateful, and the organizer, I wish all his dreams to become true.
I'm very much excited to see that someone has taken up the initiative to bring this to our locals, to bring this to Nigeria. And to my own surprise, it's someone that is not even from the north, someone from another part of the country. That's to show us that there are a lot of people from the south that actually believes in Nigeria, just like there are a lot of people in the north that believes in Nigeria. So to separate this country is going to be very, very difficult. And of course today I'm actually inspired, because whenever you are engaged in activities like this, you get to be inspired, and at the end of the day you are empowered with knowledge to go out there to actually start looking for ways you can be in leadership position or try and help other people attain leadership by providing them some necessary motivations and of course some strategy on how to get into leadership.
When day before yesterday, your own coordinator in Bauchi State approached me with the idea of coming to Yola to attend this all-important program, I was skeptical. And I say, how can I go to, a place, to attend a program that I don't understand? But now I have a changed mind. Because of the young men and women I saw this morning, honestly, I have a change of mind. And I promise I will be part and parcel of this initiative. It is an initiative that every Nigerian that's had the love of this country will associate himself with. But the question is, Mr. Founder, Nigeria is a great country, no doubt about it. If you are talking about the elements of power, all of them, honestly, Nigeria has it. If you are talking of landmass, Nigeria has it. If you are talking of population, Nigeria has it. If you are talking of climate, we have very beautiful climate. If you are talking of young men and women that can move anything you think of, we have it. So what is actually the problem of this country? That is the question. That is the question. And now, if you are talking of ideas, in Nigeria, there is no library that you enter without getting ideas of how to move Nigeria forward. None. There's no school that you go without, seeing, piece of paper with beautiful write-up about how to move this country forward. But what is the problem? I have to seek of your indulgence. The next time that we are going to have such kind of retreat, please let it be in Gombe. I have to go and inform my governor of what I have seen. And what I have seen is overwhelmed. So I have to go with the good news to him, and then we have to see the way that we are going to collaborate with you in order to keep and continue boosting our teaming youth, to continue seeing how we are going to come along to reduce the numerous challenges that we are facing for our teaming youth in this country today.
They say, when opportunity meets preparedness, comes success. God has already created the land, and God has created us, the human beings that will live on the land. And God has made us to realize that we will come generation after generation. So what I'm telling us now is we must understand the importance of what we are trying to build from grassroots up. So that is why this Get Involved Leadership Training Program is important. The Get Involved Leadership Training Program is something that must happen in every state so that we can build the structure of like minds, making sure that we have an ambassador or a representative at every jurisdiction, whether it is a ward, a local government, or even the state itself. Then we put everybody together in a structure. I can tell you today, if we want something to be happening in every part of Adamawa State today, and we have two people representing each of the local government, and we have one person representing each of the ward. Once you pass the information in your organogram from the state to the local government pass to the ward, at the time that they were all trained on how to structure and to synchronize, then everything starts happening at the same time. This is the kind of thing that we want to achieve.
Because the award is too heavy for me to present to you. Sir, I always pray you not retire, instead you refire until you acquire your ultimate desire.
One thing that award does to me, know me very well, it's award challenges me in my life, because I believe that for you to be awarded, been doing some things that some people have seen that you are worthy of such award. And for me, I don't like to disappoint people. I assure you that this today is some sort of motivation for me to continue to do humanity. And also I'll use this opportunity to affirm my support and partnership with this organization.